Sometime in the middle of the 19th century, Currer, Ellis, and Acton Bell came out with a book of poems. This was their first book ever to be published, and they didn't want to take any chances. They couldn't risk to be known as women writing poetry. Yes, Currer, Ellis, and Acton were pseudonyms for none other than Charlotte, Emily, and Annie, the Bronte sisters. Years later, Joanne reduced her name to its initials to target a primary audience of young males for a book, Harry Potter. If that wasn't enough, J.K. Rowling had to resort to another pen name, Robert Galbraith, to sell a crime fiction. Through history, there have been innumerable instances of women like Joan of Arc who had to dress up as a man to be counted as a soldier in a war field. Closer home, in 1975, a 22-year-old master brewer returned to India from Australia, looking to find a job in an Indian brewery. However, she soon realized that no one was willing to hire a female master brewer. Thankfully, it was a job rejection that gave India one of its most iconic female entrepreneurs, none other than Kiran Majumdar-Shaw. From warfare to writing to work, women have endured discrimination for years. There have been professions and jobs that have been rendered unsuitable for women. Girls are guided into certain fields of study because it would get them a job suitable for a woman. Because it really is a man's world out there, you have to always claim your space in this world. Really? What about entrepreneurship? Is it a man's world? Hello and welcome to the second episode of Her Tribe, where we look at entrepreneurship from the gender lens. Does the gender of the entrepreneur really matter? Are there certain kind of businesses that come naturally to women? What does it take for women to start enterprises that are typically male? I'm your host, Vimla Rajkumari, and I'm delighted to have some remarkable enterprising women with me on the show today. When women start businesses that are typically male, are they trying to break some bastions and claim them for their own? Or are they finding their own unique way of running a business? Let's find out. Let's begin the show with our first guest, Runa Rafiq. Runa Rafiq is the co-founder and CEO of CEO of Blue Planet Amalgamated and is a farmer entrepreneur. After almost 20 years of working in various programs like Sharva Shiksha Abhiyan and National Rural Health Mission, ending with a decade-long stint in the international NGO called Operation Smile, Ms. Runa Rafiq took farming in 2018. In January 2019, she set up a pig breeding at Changsari, Kamrup, Assam. She came to farming because she loves farming. She is also the vice president of Northeast Progressive Pig Farmers Association. Besides farming, she is committed to work in community development and especially women empowerment. Runa was the subject of a Her and Now film. Let's watch it before we speak to her.
This is one of the few commercial pig farms of Assam of this size. This is the only pig farm which is run totally by a woman. We do things in a different way, not the traditional way. We follow scientific methods of vaccination, medication, the feed. These are very technical skills that I have taught myself. It was very, very difficult when I started. But then it came with time and I learned, and I think it has been a journey of courage and immense satisfaction. Her and Now has given me this platform, discuss my ideas, to voice my concerns and ideas. I think that is very important. Every step that woman takes is a challenge. So entrepreneurship is doubly therefore challenging. But women have to rise above it. They have to believe and they have to act on it, that they are no less than the man. And I think that belief in the mind first, I think the actions can show. Really believe that I could not have done this if I did not have the support of my family. My brother is my business partner. He has invested money. though he does not take care of the operations. My husband has been very supportive. I think the family is of immense importance when it comes to women entrepreneurship. And I hope every man understands that and, supports the woman. I think my strength lies in my courage. I am not easily deterred by, the general things that I see other women are deterred by. Because I am a woman, I am sure people perceive me differently. Thank God I don't perceive myself differently. Otherwise, my difficulties would have doubled, I am sure. I will do what I think I need to do for this pig farm. Nothing else will come in my way. Actually, I believe nothing is impossible. If the mind can perceive it, one can achieve it. I'm Runa Rafiq from the Her and Now incubation cohort of Guwahati.
Wow, what a beautiful story. Runa, can you tell us a little more of how you got into the piggery business? Did it occur to you that this is a typically male business? Did you find any resistance because of your gender?
I'm sure there were resistances which I did not take cognizance of. And I think that has been my strength. Sometimes ignorance is bliss, and not to know what the other person, what the people around are thinking, not to be aware that that there is a perception that this is a truly totally male-dominated field, in at least so far in Assam and not, I would say more in Assam than in other parts of Northeast. I think that has been ignorance that has helped me. It came to my mind and I started it. And once I started it, I had to get it going.
So what are the things that actually came into your mind that pushed you into starting this?
I started to believe that agriculture is very important for our region. And I also started to believe that I could see how it has been in our state lately, that there is land, adequate resources, but people are shying away from agriculture. The environment does not support it, to tell the truth. I thought even then we have to, fight for it, because I see that in the Northeast we do not have many other options. So I took it not just as a personal business. I took it as a business with a purpose to actually demonstrate that this is possible, that we should go for it. And that's how I entered into it, actually.
How wonderful. And also, you coming from the Muslim community,
Yes.
piggery is, I think,
Yes.
A big step to take. So what is the kind of resistances you got from your community? Any resistances, and how did you overcome it? And yeah, a little deeper as to why did you choose this?
Why did I choose this?
Yeah.
Yes, first I'll come to that. I chose it because I thought that when I wanted to delve into agriculture, I thought the agriculture part is difficult. We should go into livestock. Also because I had a personal constraint of not owning my own land, and to not do agriculture in a substantial level is no use. So I thought livestock it has to be. And then when I saw that the pig pork market is we estimate it as a 10,000 crore markets in the Northeast. So to have it at that level and to have most of this money going out of Northeast. So I thought, why not do what is the easiest possible, raise pigs and sell them here? Because when we raise pigs, we don't have to go to the market comes to us. So why not take advantage of this? That is why I went into piggery. And once I decided to go into piggery, there has been resistance. And as I said, because my ignorance has been my blessing, actually. I did not realize how people would perceive me, or I did not think much of it. And then, it starts first in the mind, and then in your immediate family, and then in the society around you. So in my mind, I didn't have that problem. But in my immediate family, my aunts and my grandmother, they did have some problem. But my very own family, and then my mom's family, like, they're very, very supportive. We have been raised up like, we have never been like this. Religious differences has never been put into our minds. So when I thought of doing it, I'm also married to a Hindu, by the way. So it has always been there, this cross religious things in our home and in our family, and nobody bothers much about religion, to tell the truth. So I went into that, and then I realized that I was getting lesser invitations into family affairs and all, but then I did not care. I was too busy in the piggery, and anyway it used to take so much of my time. And then I did get some 1, 2, 3 calls from fringe elements, who said that, you are doing piggery is fine, but people are using it to malign our religion. They're saying that a Muslim woman is getting into piggery, so why don't you issue clarifications about it, that you are no longer a Muslim, that you are married to a Hindu and therefore a Hindu now. These kind of things did come, the calls started coming. I was getting a little bothered, but then I thought that, but then I was also stern about it. I said, it is not my work to give clarifications. If you have problem, you issue clarifications. That's how I
How
got around.
inspirational. And I think we all need to learn from you on, breaking the narratives that a society has created on how we should be, what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. But
Yes.
to follow our heart and follow what we believe and follow what will give us happiness. What a beautiful story to hear from you, Runa.
I would like to add one more line to this. I think besides all this, I think it is the most important thing that struck me was the economics of it all. We are a nation, we are a state which is poor. In Assam, we don't have that kind of money that the other states, or we have not advanced that or developed the way the other states have of the rest of India. So I thought this was too much a constraint, and this is what we need to fight, not these narrow religious beliefs and all. These are not the problems, actually. The problem is the economic penury we are all in. I thought so. Therefore, this was one very, very motivating factor for me. Like, we need to do business uh, and make business work. So rather than go for the small petty things, we should focus on the business aspect and make ourselves economically better off. That was inspiration.
Yeah, I think as entrepreneurs, it is so important for us to solve problems and to fill up the gaps. And what a motivational story to hear from you. You've also recently had to close your pig farm and start a food processing business, as we learned. So, do you plan to go back to the farm?
Yeah, no, I still have my farm, only that I don't have my piggery anymore in it, because last year I also, I go with the trend, you can say. There was COVID, I got COVID, and there was African swine fever. My farm had African swine fever. So very, very trendy things happened. And ultimately, I don't have the pig farm at the moment. But I'm planning to go back to it in a bigger way next year. But this year, the disease is still prevalent in the northeast, yes. And I'm little constrained for resources as well, nor I think it is advisable to go for it, seeing that our animal insurance do not work. But the lessons that I have learned, I have spent a lot of my time, my resources and my emotions on it, and I'm therefore not going to leave it so easily. So hopefully I'll get back to it next year.
Wonderful, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much. I need it.
From a bustling pigsty, now let's move into a gym as I welcome Cheryl Ashumi, the owner of City Gym in Dimapur, Nagaland. Cheryl is the founder of City Gym. City Gym was started in 2016 and currently has 2 branches in Dimapur, Nagaland. They are the only gym in Dimapur to provide a certified female trainer, certified nutritionist, certified weight loss coach, CPR, and first aid. Cheryl's mission is to inspire people to include fitness in their daily routine and instill the belief that exercising and being healthy can be fun. She strives to create a safe space for women and also provide them training and employment opportunities. In fact, 60% of her gym members are under the age of 40, most of whom are couples and families consisting of parents and children who come to work out together. What a beautiful gym it must be. Cheryl, so have you found it difficult to work with male clients in your gym? Do they take you seriously?
In my gym, honestly, I have not had any problems as such. But in the fitness community, yes, it took quite some time for them to, look at me as their peer, as like, as one of them. Mainly because my husband is the one who, who's all into bodybuilding, and, he's the one who is such a fitness enthusiast. So like, they look towards him. And then when they turn around and they look at me, they see me as the one who will be serving them the tea and the water and, things like that. So within my gym, no, but in the fitness community, yes, it still goes on.
Yeah, so you think if it was you alone running the gym, the story would have been slightly different? It's still a very typically male industry, is it?
See, we've had a few other women who have opened gyms, and so now we are a community of women also, gym owners, and it's fun, just stepping over a man and going up, it's fun. Honestly, if I had started the gym on my own, then I would have had a lot of problems being taken seriously, being given an opportunity to even sit among the men at the table and talk with them, pitch my ideas and all that. It would have been very difficult. But I have my husband who's supporting me, so we sit side by side, and then when they ask questions, he turns to me and he asks me, like, to answer. So like now I'm being taken seriously. Now I'm, being included in the group because of his support and, because of his pushing also. Yeah.
How wonderful to have, community members supporting us. So together, let's make the difference. Her Tribe is a space for trailblazer women entrepreneurs from the Northeast, not just from the Her and Now cohorts. This week, we would like to welcome none other than Tanushree Hazarika. Tanushree is a business management graduate from Boston University and a serial entrepreneur in the media and marketing industry, founder of Tattva Creations, a brand communication agency, and co-founder of eastmojo.com. She received the Young Communicator Award from the Symbiosis Institute in 2010 and the Outstanding Women Achiever Award by Flow, the ladies' wing of FICCI, in 2013. An Aspen Fellow and a member of the Aspen Global Leadership Network. She has also served as jury in the 64th National Film Awards. Welcome to the show, Tanushree. We are delighted to have you with us today.
Thank you so much, Vimla. It's my pleasure, and thank you for this opportunity.
Wonderful having you with us, and I'm sure our audiences here would learn so much from you. Journalism has a good balance of men and women. However, major editors of news organizations are men. What, in your opinion, or why, in your opinion, is the top editor's office typically male?
Before I get into basically, I entered into the media or content business, usually most people would be journalists or editors and then turn entrepreneurs. But in my case, I've always been a business management graduate, and I knew I wanted to get into entrepreneurship. And this was just an opportunity and a gap that I saw. And that's how I got into the content and media business. And I think what Una was saying, so when I got into the industry, these thoughts like, oh, okay, maybe I'm a woman, or maybe this is a male dominated industry, I never saw things that way. I just knew that this is something interesting, exciting. I saw a gap and I was like, let's get into it. And moment I got into it, I was quite passionate about it. And, so I think that kept me going. So I think, and once you have that, I don't think these things matter so much, as in like, okay, I'm a woman trying to get into this field. So I feel like women should be raised up not to think like that, in fact. Yes. So yes.
I so agree to you there, Tanushree. I think many of these things are all created by us. It's the narratives that we have been made to grow up saying, men are supposed to do this and women are supposed to do this. Muslims are supposed to do this. Hindus. I think we need to get out of all that boxes that we have been boxed into till now and get into what is it that we really love and enjoy doing. And I think that's where we as a society will progress. So I'm so glad you raised this issue that it's all in the mindset, Typically male, these are narratives all created by us. We need to stop getting out of this mindsets and to
that, yes, then it's already a setback. Then you already think you're at the disadvantage position, so
yeah. So I think it's very important for us to get out of the different mindsets that we have created ourselves, and listen to ourselves and what we want to be. What do we enjoy doing? I think that's where we need to move towards. Yeah. On the show today, we also have Maggie Lalnung Sangi and Grace Refung, who are part of the Her and Now program. But Maggie and Grace work in remote locations, and they are actually unable to attend us here live. But we could share our questions with them, and we recorded their answers. So, let's start off with Maggie. Maggie is the founder of DCM Wood-Based Industry, Aizawl, Mizoram, a proprietary firm established in 2012, registered as MSME with Government of Industries and Commerce for manufacturing and marketing of timber components and furniture in the interior sector. From a small enterprise, they've vastly expanded over the years due to requests for new and innovative production methods and designs. In addition to filled timber, moldings, bits, and sawmill business, they are now venturing into manufacturing door frames, window frames, panel doors, wooden flooring, and customized furniture for residents, keeping the tradition of Mizoram alive. We asked Maggie, we know women are made of steel. Do you need nerves of steel to be the only women in the wood manufacturing business? Let's hear what she has to say.
Thank you for the question, Vimala. Yes, being courageous and fearless comes with a lot of benefits. We need to have skills to analyze the problems that comes our way. Wood manufacturing is indeed a male-dominated industry. I always felt the need to demonstrate my abilities and prove myself more. We women tend to have reluctance to self-promote or ask what we want. So I always, felt the need for us to speak up and show what we are good at.
Yeah, now let's get Grace on. Grace Refung is the founder of EYAR Production, enthusiastic young adventurous realist based out of Ukhrul, Manipur. It is a non-profit production house making films based on women and social issues in the community with an aim to bring changes and awareness in this society, and also to promote the hidden talents of each talented and committed person. We asked Grace, women in the creative field are not new. I'm one of them, but we would all agree that we don't hear about many women filmmakers. Why is filmmaking or production typically male?
Thank you for the questions, Vimala. Yes, directing and producing the film has been solely male preserved, but sometimes you can ask a woman for control. I have to take the responsibilities to raise my voice, to bring some changes, awareness, and improvement for the society. And media, film is one of the keys trying to influence people. That's why I choose filmmaking.
Now let's engage with our audiences and hear it from them on what, according to them, are businesses or enterprises that are typically male. You would find a Mentimeter link on your chat box. You can open up the link on your browser and fill in your answer in a word. Has everyone sent in their answers? Can we move on to the next screen? Yeah, we're looking to hear your answers. Our question was, what, according to you, are businesses or enterprises that are typically male? You can send in your one-word answer. Some interesting answers coming in. Looking forward to some more. Okay, we'll share the interesting answers that came in a little while. Now let's move on to the second segment of the show. Let's explore if there is a certain women's code. Do women do things differently at all? Runa, if you could answer, what does gender have to do with entrepreneurship? Does it matter if a woman or a man runs a piggery? Runa, can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear you. Does it matter if a man or a woman runs a piggery? First is the issue of handling the farm hands. And since I deal with males in the farm, and my clients are also males, all along it's all males all around me actually. So I think it's a bit interpersonal, the way women deal with the farm hands and with farmers around. Otherwise, I think the usual cycles of bearing children and all, taking care of the house, in spite of however much you may make it independent to run without you, that women's touch, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. It's the beauty of being a woman. That is still there, and sometimes that can be a little bit tying down for you. And professionally, what I just mentioned is that I have to run men, and I have to deal with men all the time. Yes, there can be issues of genderization if you are not serious about your work, but I don't think that has been a problem with me so far.
So how have you actually handled it? Why do you say there hasn't been a problem? Is it the way you handle things?
I think the day-to-day activity of running man, sometimes I do feel that there can be issues when because the men I work with, they are from a background from where they don't see women running the show. So I think that can be a bit of a problem sometimes, but it also depends. You need to educate yourself then and skill yourself then. I think that can be done. It's an obstacle that can be overcome. And besides having to deal with clients, I think if you're serious about your work, that perception goes. And I would say I didn't face too much problem in that.
Yeah, here I would again say it's again all in the mindset. I am the filmmaker myself, and I also mostly work with a crew which is all male. And I think if you don't have that mindset that, okay, I am a female working with male, then I think
Yes.
we can navigate through things easily. I think everything stems from the mind. I think we need to
Yes.
change mindsets. That's
Yes.
what I believe.
Our own minds first.
Yes, yeah. Now, coming to you, Cheryl, you turned to fitness when you were on your way to recovery after cancer, and I think today is also World Cancer Day, and we really salute you. Tell us what inspired you to start a gym in the first place?
Okay, the first thing is I needed to get back into shape myself. That was the first thing. My health was like really deteriorating. I faced, I almost walked into the door of death. Okay, so I faced a lot of, I had to really take a step back and think about what I'm doing with myself, my life, my health. I have 2 young children, what am I going to do? I'm not going to see them anymore like that. So I had to change my lifestyle. I had to change my, everything from what I eat to what I wear to what I do, I had to change everything. So the first and foremost thing for me was myself. Okay. And then when I stepped out and I was searching for a place, working out at home is totally different. It's not satisfying at home at all. So when I stepped out searching for a place, to work out comfortably, I did not find any place. And so that really inspired me to start something of my own that I could, where I could be comfortable first, and also women like me could be comfortable and, join and, just be yourself. So that was the first and foremost thing, me first. And then I stepped back and I looked at the other people, my fellow warriors who were, fighting cancer and other sicknesses, who did not have a place. So, I wanted to build something for them also, something that we could all work together peacefully, without any discrimination, without anybody laughing, at our bodies, at the way we are looking, the way we look, and, just something comfortable, a safe space, for women. That was my main motivation. That was it.
Yeah, I think, all the difficulties that come our way is always, the universe trying to show us where we need to go. I think so, this must be your way of your universe telling you what you need to do, and let you to go and create that space for people like you. Isn't it wonderful? Now coming to you, Tanushree, at East Mojo, how do you function and navigate in a typically male environment or sector, as we would call it? And I'd like you to focus more on it as an employer.
Yes, if we look at it, yes, there are more, men working in East Mojo rather than women. Of course, we do have, I would say, it's around 60-40%. And I feel like, it's the approach. It's ultimately when you're running any business, whether it's a media business, or I think typically what happens, like you said, if it's mostly if it's a male run organization, it's a leadership style. So typically people think you need to be more aggressive, or, while handling, a newsroom, or, or a team like that. But that's because the industry has always been mostly led by men. But you can always have a different leadership style, which is suited for your personality. If you're a woman, you don't necessarily be like, oh, because I'm in the media business, I'm a woman, I have to now act like a man, So I don't think that should be the model. Of course, there are certain circumstances which come up once in a while where you do have to, be, more, a little more aggressive than what is needed. That's because most employees would sometimes, if you are softer, they might not understand that, this is what is needed, because they're usually, used to having let's say a male boss, So I feel, but those situations have been rarely lesser for me, So I feel like as long as you can come to a style which is, and people understand that this is how this organization functions, and this is her style, and this is, so I feel that you can reach midway. So you don't really have to necessarily follow a set method of the industry.
I totally agree with you there, Tanushree. I think more than a male way of doing business or a female way of doing business, I think we as humans, we all crave, compassion. I think if we're compassionate and empathetic to our team members, I think we can all work in a very harmonious environment.
If you're understanding and, yes. So that's what it means.
Yeah. We asked Maggie, as a woman, you have not only organized your sector, you've also made significant attempts in bringing policy changes. Does a woman do things differently? Let's hear what she has to say.
Thank you for the question, Vimala. Women entrepreneurs are committed and dedicated with a lot of passion and determination. We want new challenges and opportunities. In innovative and competitive works, I believe that we have the skills to do what is regarded as extraordinary. I was working independently as an interior designer, which exposed me to certain technical challenges. Rules in the wood-based sector was not formed yet. It was an untapped potential in our state, and so I decided to use my firm as a catalyst in bringing that change. Now I feel proud and privileged that DCM wood-based industry is among few who have the license in the wood-based sector. I hope that it will pave ways for other entrepreneurs to enter this industry as well. And I feel proud to be part of a team that initiates and brings changes in our state.
So well said. Let's all be that catalyst of change. Let's break down gender inequalities. Let's create a more equal world. We asked Grace, are there any business decisions that you would have taken differently if you were a man?
Thank you for these questions. If I were a man, I would have been in different business because according to my personal experience, the idea of making film was when I realized nobody actually listened to me. So I start my journey making film with an aim to end violence against women and freedom irrespective of gender inequality. So I want to use this media, music, film effectively as a key weapon to fight equality, to bring awareness, also to bring sustainable change in the society.
Okay, sorry, I think there was some problem there. Now let's move on to our third segment. Let's explore the yin and yang of entrepreneurship. We all have the feminine and the masculine side to all of us. So I really wouldn't want to say, men are different, female are different. Male have a certain characteristic, women have a certain characteristic. I think we all have both the yin and yang. And I think what we need to do is try to bring a balance between the yin and yang. I work with my husband. So I wouldn't say, as a man, he brings in certain qualities, and as a woman, I bring in certain qualities. I think both of us as different personalities have our different strengths and weaknesses. So when we work together in running our organization, we take on different roles where we have our strengths in. Runa, let's hear from you. You have a male co-founder. What are the rules of engagement with your co-founder? How do you balance the responsibilities and decisions at work? What would your advice be to other women entrepreneurs who partner with male counterparts?
Yeah, I envy you too. I envy you when I hear that you have a male counterpart to work with. Actually, in my case, my brother is my partner, but I take all the decisions. I run it myself alone. So I don't have that advantage of having a male to, sometimes I feel there is, that helps, that male kind of aggression, it is necessary sometimes. And I feel that absence in my case. So I envy, in fact, people who have a male to work with, because the decisions are mostly mine, the implementation is mine as well. But when I go to my brother, he has been a seasoned business person, though a first generation one, he has been able to do fairly well. And I go to him for larger issues, for larger business issues like, not the nitty-gritties of the piggery or the farm, because he is not too well versed on that, but on on larger issues of how to sometimes handle the loan perspective, or how to work in general with people who are if I'm having some problem in the village, how to deal with those issues, I talk it out with him. But otherwise, I feel quite alone sometimes, actually, and I feel quite, sometimes I feel quite lonely about it also, that I don't have a male counterpart to deal with certain issues, and I have to do everything in my farm on my own, right from, the breed selection, running the farm, medicines, diseases, feed. Everything has to be looked after by me. Yeah, the long term, the medium term, the short term, yeah, everything. So it's like, but I'm glad I have this, but having said all that, my brother has been a support, because sometimes I get bogged down by things, which, because he is there and who has done it for a longer time and has done business in a much bigger way, when I go to him and talk to him, I feel very assured. I think, oh, this is a small problem which can be handled. He is handling much bigger issues, so that way, that helps me a lot.
You're right, entrepreneurship sometimes can feel like quite a lonely journey. And that's why it's so important for us entrepreneurs to be part of networks, different networks, and also stepping out of formal networks. It also helps to have informal networks. Like I have my band of women entrepreneurs. We use each other as our sounding boards, and it's so wonderful. Just to have someone. I might have a question going on, and I might have the answer all within me, but just to be able to sound it off with someone is so reassuring.
Yes, it's true. And therefore I feel very grateful to this platform where I'm in right now, speaking to you and to so many people. I feel very grateful to her and now and to Dhriiti, because they have provided us precisely this environment, this platform. And I realize that this does not decrease my loneliness when it comes to work, but it helps to know that there are other people who go through the same grind. It's very, very helpful, and I'm really grateful for this, and therefore I like to remain connected to it.
Yeah. So my advice to any entrepreneur has always been to network, and network.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Tanushree, you have a male co-founder. So let's hear from you. What are the rules of engagement with your co-founder? How do you balance the responsibilities and decisions at work?
Yes. So, I agree with every one of you that, entrepreneurship sometimes can get really lonely. So, my first two ventures have been always mostly, just been led by me. And so, East Mojo, one of my friend, Karma, also wanted to do something in Northeast. And then he approached me, and then I was like, why not, let's this time let's try it out with a business partner. And so what we do is our responsibilities are very clear cut usually. So he's more he looks after the journalism editorial side, where I look after the business side. So having said that, I can't really answer that question whether it's important to have a male co-founder, or maybe if there was a female co-founder in his place, maybe things might have been the same way. So unless so I can't really say that, okay, just because there's a male person, so it's benefiting the business or helping. But overall, I would say that having a co-founder helps, because just like you said, you need that other person to sound things off or discuss or take critical decisions, so that you don't feel as lonely or be like, oh, okay, maybe am I doing it right, wrong, So at least then you feel like, okay, we have come up with a decision together. So I think having someone in the entrepreneurship journey helps.
I strongly feel that diversity and inclusion in an organization, helps us grow so much more as an organization. Cheryl, your co-founder is your husband. So let's hear from you. What are the rules of engagement with your husband? How do you balance the responsibilities and decisions at work? And would you also advise other women entrepreneurs to have male counterparts?
Okay, so yes, my husband is my co-founder, and we have two children and one on the way. So So for me, for us both, family comes first, and like that's okay. Family needs to come first. So we separate our home life from our work life, but and we never allow an overlap. To come in. As a wife and a mother, if I'm needed at home, then I stay home. That's very clear. It's not his decision. It was my decision to make. It's always been my decision to make. I delegate when I'm needed at home. I stay home. I delegate my work to an assistant. I have an assistant, and I supervise remotely. Sometimes it works out perfectly because I have trained that assistant, male assistant. I still have not found a female assistant, but sometimes it works perfectly. Sometimes it's not ideal, but nevertheless, it works out. Things work out. We make things work. At work, we have preset responsibilities. He's in charge of certain things. I'm in charge of certain things. And if I need to make a decision, I never make it at the moment, so we work like that. We talk it out. When we come home from work, we sit together, we discuss about a member, equipment, a problem that we are facing at work. We discuss and we come to a mutual agreement. Sometimes we we fight, sometimes we argue, and sometimes we just we push our ideas across, but at the end we always think about what is best for the business. Not like you have to take my idea and I have to take your idea, not that, but like what is best for the growth of the business, what is best for our clients. So that way I'm really grateful that my husband, he lets me also pitch in my ideas and decide. He lets me make some decisions, and like together together we just work it out. So like that, my co-founder is very adaptable. He's very he's very helpful. So so there are a lot of preset notions about like the value of a woman and the place of a woman in a business, but nowadays we see that things are changing. Things are becoming less challenging. Women are stepping out and fulfilling their their inner dreams, their desires, their ambitions. And I feel that if you can get a partner who is, whether it is a male or a female, it doesn't matter, a partner who will help you build your dreams, and not cut it and break it up, like that. So if you can build together, then that would be really good. It doesn't matter whether it's male or female. Of course, in the marketplace, having a man helps, like for force, but a woman also can do as good a job as a man. I believe that. I sincerely believe that. So it doesn't matter whether it is a man or a woman. In the end, right now, women are just they're not only like having fulfilling careers. They're outshining men. They're outrunning men in every field. They're like from small home-based businesses to flying jet planes, to going out of space, to becoming a VP or a president of a country, So women are as capable as men, and I feel it doesn't matter who you partner with, just same wavelength.
I would agree with you there. Women are as capable of men. Let's not be restricted by society mindsets of they've created. Let's go shine.
There's a quote from Jawaharlal Nehru that I had read just some time back. It says you can tell the condition of a nation by looking at the status of its women. And I was like really struck by that, like at that time, the ideas he had, I wish our politicians, our bureaucrats now would also follow that. It's really, women are
let's go lead the way. So we asked Maggie and Grace, how is it working with male crews? What are the challenges of being a women boss? Do you have to deal with sexist behavior? Let's hear it from both of them.
Thank you for the question. In general, women are more cautious about risk than men. We tend to question our own judgments. the lack of role model or the lack of our own abilities tend to draw ourselves back. So I think that is the main challenges that we also face as a woman leader. Working with male and initiating the changes in wood-based sector is a good learning and experience for me. I always give my best to face any challenges that comes our way.
Thank you for the question, Vimala. Working with a male crew is really exciting and challenging. When I lead my team, I lead with a clear vision, courage, and equality. So we treated each other equally. And when I work with them, I don't feel like I'm in the minority with men's role. I deal male with confidence and trust.
How wonderful to hear everyone's views. Now, this question is open to all. What is your advice to women who are looking to enter sectors that are typically male? Should we start with Cheryl?
Hi, yeah. So I have a few points. I'll just, I just thought of. The first thing is women, believe in yourself. Just because you have never done it before doesn't mean that you cannot do it. I mean, like, think about cooking. We weren't born, we didn't learn, I mean, like from our mother's womb how to cook, right? We learned it, right? So that's just a basic thing. So you will be able to do anything you put your mind to. Just believe in yourself. That's the first thing I want to tell you. Second thing is, do not let your fears, overcome your desire for success. We all have fears. We all have fears of failure, you are as capable as your male counterpart. You just need to show yourself sometimes better. Dare to take risks. You need to take risks. You need to step out of your comfort zone. Otherwise, you will not succeed. And do not hesitate. Pitch your ideas. It may not be accepted at first, but yes, it will be accepted. When what happens is with my husband also, when I pitch an idea to him, he mulls over it, he thinks over it. He does not say a yes immediately. No, women, we are led by emotions. Okay, men, they think. So he goes through it, and then later on he'll says, "Oh, that was a very good idea that you gave me 2 months back. We'll implement it now." So in the end, it gets done. It needs time for it to take root for men and for them to think about it really. But in the end, your ideas will be the one that will be implemented. So do not hesitate to pitch it. And the last thing is to build a support system. You need a support system. Connect with other women. It may not necessarily be in the same field of work, in the same sector, but connect with other women. Connect, help each other, support each other through networking, through networking through workshops, and also if it is possible, then through funding also. So that is the advice that I can give you. It has helped me a lot, and I hope it helps you too.
Beautiful advice. Runa, would you like to share your advice?
I don't know if I have an advice to share, but if you asked me, I think don't dwell too much on the fact that you are a woman. Don't think too much about it. Don't ever think about it, and go on right on with the idea that you have in your mind. If you can carry it off physically, biologically, why not? I mean, in here we are no different from anybody else. But having said that, it helps that sometimes as a woman it helps in certain areas. I think we can be more sensitive. I think we can be more multitasking, and I think we can use our grace to help ourselves in certain situations. I mean, we have these qualities besides what all we also have. So make the most of it, and do it to your advantage. Do it for a good cause. Do it with the good intention. And I think why not? I mean, everybody is the same. Otherwise, there's no block that can keep you away from achieving what you want to achieve.
So well said. Tanushree, let's hear yours.
Sure. So I think I'd like to re-emphasize what I already said earlier. Like, if you are passionate about something, if you believe in an idea that this is going to work, and you're excited about it, then go for it. It doesn't matter whether you are entering a male-led industry or a female-led industry. Of course, unless physically you are not equipped to do it, So, but I feel like you should just jump into it and then give your best, and then things will work out. And I think I also agree to what Cheryl was saying, that um, have a network, have a support system, have a couple of advisors, mentors who have been in the industry. Doesn't matter whether it's a man or a woman, and just do your research, know about your industry, and then of course your idea and your energy will do the rest of the magic. So I feel that's what we should women should focus on, rather than thinking, oh, I'm a woman and I'm like, oh, I'm already at a disadvantage. So then you're entering it with the wrong mindset.
Thank you for the question, Vimala. The advice that I can give from my experience is to consistently educate ourselves. We need to put what we have learned into action. Being determined and innovative is so important in my work. And if we put forward resourcefulness and put into practice, I think we raise the bar. And I believe that success is a guarantee for everyone. Thank you.
My advice to all the women is, if you want to know how amazing you are, don't always try to act normal. Be strong and follow your heart. Thank you.
We are women, and we are all born with beautiful talents. Let's tap into it. Let's not let mindsets restrict us. Beautiful set of experience sharing and advice from our esteemed guests who've been successful entrepreneurs, who have been there in the entrepreneurial journey. So lovely, and thank you so much for sharing all your lovely experiences and advices. Now let's open up the floor for questions. So our guests here, you could send in any questions you'd like on the chat box, and if it is to any specific guest of ours, please mention their name. I think Shrestha Kibriya has a question, and this is not to any specific guest, but open to all three of you. So she asked, what can an unmarried woman do when the family is not so adaptable to her entrepreneurial ventures? Tanushree, would you like to take it first?
Sure. Can you repeat the question, please?
What can an unmarried woman do when the family is not so adaptable to her entrepreneurial ideas or ventures?
Okay. So I feel like, Shasta, so you're already creating another mindset. First it's the woman, then it's the unmarried woman. So I think you have to break these belief systems. Think you're a person, you're a human, and I think everyone has their challenges, I'm sure, Runa, Cheryl, me, all of us have various challenges as an entrepreneur, whether it's resources, whether it's finances, or whether it's, different various operational challenges. So I think you have to just, let your family understand. You have to have that communication open up, that this is something that I really believe in. This is something that I know I can do. I think it is just about making them understand. And once they see that you are executing it with so much, excitement and involvement, I think they will understand that, this is something that you really want to do. And maybe it's an rather than getting married. Maybe that's what you're trying to say. Like, I feel like, and both can go happen side by side. Like you have heard all these brilliant women, like, Vimla, Runa, Cheryl, they have all have, supporting families and have, husbands and brothers and all, supporting them. So end of the day, if you can communicate to your family that, and they see that you have the vision and the passion for it, I think you have to go for it. So that is, it's just a challenge you're facing. So you have to figure out how to navigate through that.
I think beautifully answered by Tanushree. Runa, there's a question for you from Anjana Bhattacharjee, and she asks, ma'am, how to connect to you for business purpose?
Oh, you can call me up. If necessary, I can. How do I do it? Share my number? Or?
Yeah, are you ready to share it here in the chat box with everyone?
Yeah, I am. I'm
yeah,
also.
So you could just share it in the chat box for everyone.
Okay. I also work a lot for women empowerment. So that's another goal in my life, to work for women empowerment. Any woman, I help men as well, but I am doubly available to help any woman who I can help.
Yeah, I think Runa has shared her number there. So yeah, you can connect with her on her number. Do we have any more questions coming in? Okay, I think Shrestha Kirbaya has another question, and she asks, is there any tips in finding a reliable business partner who shares the same kind of emotional involvement as we do? Runa, would you like to take that?
Yes, it's like finding the right husband, and maybe more. That's how it is. It's not. There's no other way. You have to explore. You have to find, and yet you may be wrong. And it takes more out of you than just the, if it went wrong with your life partner, because it also can involve a lot of financial issues. Am I right, Tanushree?
And also, I think, it is not just, also don't, partner with a mirror image. So as let's say,
how you complement each other is when it is best.
You will need the skill sets. So let's say you might be great at executing the business, or you're great at ideas, but you're weak, handling finances or stuff like that. So get someone who's strong at that. So I feel that's a mix, and that is just from my side. So complement, yes.
No, it's skills at one point, and also it's interpersonal relationship. Both. These are two skill sets that you will require to get along with a partner. Therefore, so many people do it alone without a partner. I think she's a young woman, and she's hearing all this about having a very, very supportive husband in this show. And then I also talked about my brother who has been supportive. I think she's feeling that since that's why I think she mentioned the fact that she's unmarried, that she doesn't have a husband to support her. But it's okay, Shasta, it doesn't matter. You can do it on your own. Just have a good idea, have the plan ready in hand. And I think this is your challenge, actually. The way different people have different challenges, this is your challenge. So take it on. Go to your parents, talk to them more, keep at it, show them the passion that you have, show them that you have a good plan in hand. If you talk business, I'm sure they will agree to it. And all the best. I'm sure you will overcome this problem of yours.
Yeah, and I'd like to add to that. Yeah, if ever you are looking at a co-founder or a business partner, it's always advisable to get in someone who would add to your skill sets. Like Tanushree said, not duplicate the skill sets, but get someone who is better at something you're not good at. And I think let's put this to Cheryl, because Haripriya Naurem has put it to everyone, and Cheryl's the only one who hasn't answered till now. So Haripriya says, if your co-founder would have been a male other than your husband or brother, would it be the same? So yeah, for you, if it wasn't your husband, if it was any other male co-founder, would it still be the same?
Can I answer that?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I think both of you can do it. So Tanushree, you go ahead first.
Because my co-founder is just a friend, who I partnered up with. So I feel like I don't, because I have never worked with someone from the family. Initially, of course, my father helped me out, but I feel like yes, if you can get along with friends in another situation, so why not? Or it could be someone you have met recently, and feel like you get along. So it's okay to get a co-founder. It's like making a friendship. It's making a partnership. So it doesn't necessarily have to be someone from the family, because they not necessarily. You might not find a family member who might believe in the same business idea as you do. So it's okay to step out of your family, or even friends, or network with more people, network with various different organizations, and find like-minded people, and get a co-founder.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's true. And also, like, passion is very important. So a person with the same passion, and like we're saying, different skill sets work together. Yeah, it works. Doesn't necessarily have to be your husband or brother, or your father or your uncle, or anybody in the family. Somebody with the same passion, it works. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Shrestha Kirbaya had a follow-up question. She said, the panelists asked us to get advisors and mentors for our business ventures. What is the best way to get them on board? Any of you ready to take that?
Yeah, sure, I could. Sorry, Runa. Yes.
Oh, please go ahead.
Um, there are various organizations, right? I think the Dhriiti is a platform, so maybe you can always reach out. Then there are platforms like CII, or there are industry-specific platforms. So let's say I'm in the media industry. There are media industry platforms. So if you become a member, you might find people who have experiences of 20 years, and so that's one way. There are various entrepreneurship networks. So, if you become member of a couple of them, one is, of course, you'll find peers. The other is you could possibly find advisors, mentors.
I would like to add to that. I would like to say that it's very, very helpful and very, very, I would say, necessary to have a mentor in one's business. It's always so much more useful to have advice and to know which route not to take, and therefore lessen your risks and your mistakes and losses. I strongly advise for a mentor when you are entering something new like this.
Okay, so what I did this time, I've just opened garden. This is my, it's a brand new venture for me. I've never stepped into the education sector before. And like, so what I did was I connected with, this is just an example I'm giving. I connected with women I know who are already running schools, small schools, large schools, administrators, owners. And I reached out to them and I shared my, concerns with them. I said, could you please, I put down my pride and I went and I said, could you please help me? Like, I'm new at this. I don't know anything. So the wonderful thing is women are willing to help. Everybody's willing to help. You just have to go and reach out to them and ask them. There were some people that I didn't know. Now they're friends. Like, I didn't know blank. I didn't even know their name. I just know that this person is the owner of that school, So I just went and I said, like, I'm doing this. So we built a new network like that. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you just have to step out of your comfort field also. And if you do not have, platforms, okay, like we have Dhriiti, we have Her and Now, where we are so blessed that we are part of Her and Now. But like, here, we don't have that platform. No? So do your networking, catch hold of people. And, the most important thing is step out of your comfort zone. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Just go out and do it. Like, I see a lot of men doing that. They just go and they say, hey, yeah, like, where did you get this from? Where are you getting these stuff from? Hook me up, If they can do it, why can't we do it? No. So just step out of your comfort zone. That's the first thing.
And I'd like to add a little more to that. I think especially we from the Northeast region are a little more shy and timid. I think we need to get out of that that mindset. You know, go out, ask. You know, if you ask, you might get it, you might not get it. If you don't ask, you don't get it. But if you ask, you might not get it, but you might get it as well. So go out and ask for help. And there are so many people ready to help you. I think we have a few more questions.
I'll just add one last line to it. Go with a mindset that people are willing to help you. Don't think what if they don't.
Absolutely,
that positivity helps.
You know what? If one doesn't go to the next, when that doesn't go to the next.
Can I also add, and as an entrepreneur, you have to do it, because ultimately, okay, initially you're starting of the business, but then to sell, there will be, you know, it's all a game of probability, right? You approach 100, you might convert 10 people to your business, but if you're shy, I don't think you should get into business.
Yeah.
You have to try and get out of your comfort zone, you know. I think initially it happens to a lot. Even I am a more, you know, a person who was not very outgoing. So, but still, I think, you know, you have to break that barrier.
Yeah, and I think
that
we
little bit of
Northeast are a little more, you know, we shy from asking or, you know, making our voices heard. So let's change that.
Yes, we need to get in pump in a little more aggression inside us. That is very, very necessary and assertive.
Yes. Let's assert our voices. And I think Tedonsin Cullen had asked, how do I get in touch with Tanushree and Vimla for collaboration of work? I think Tanushree has shared her number on the chat box. I've also shared, Tanushree, you have, right?
Yes, I've given it. I'll give it to everyone. I think.
Yeah, I've also shared my number to everyone. So yeah, please feel free to reach out to me. You could first send me a text with your name and your query so that we could connect. And we have a question. Many women turn to entrepreneurship after motherhood. Again, do you think women get more cautious when it comes to following a business idea? Anyone would like to take that? Runa?
Yeah, I did turn to motherhood. I did turn to entrepreneurship after motherhood. I'm a mother of 2 children. And what was the question related to it?
When it comes to following a business idea, do you think women are more cautious?
I don't know really. I think the cautious part comes from the fact that resources are mostly more limited to women than to men. That could be a reason that women are more cautious. But otherwise, yeah, I think there's a little bit more timidity in women than in men. I say no to that because of this social fact, probably, that the resources are more limited to women. I myself have not been more timid because I used my own money. Though there was a partner, but I equally shared the resources. So I think that way it has been. The socialization, you cannot take it away. You know, we were raised in a certain way as women, and therefore the family plays such an important part. So that this risk taking is it's in our genes and also in the way we have been raised. So I would say it's therefore both. You know, it comes sometimes you are more risk taking than other people, and I don't think it's I don't think it's because of our chromosomes. I mean, I don't think it's a very, very genetic thing that way.
Thank you, Runa. There's a question for Cheryl and Tanushree. What would your advice be to a women entrepreneur who deals with clients who are typically male?
Okay, so in my sector, it's mostly male dominated. It's like, you know, we have just 5% women in the fitness industry here in Nagaland especially. So it's a little difficult to be taken seriously. I struggle with being taken seriously. You know, I have ideas, I have the training, I have the confidence, you know, everything. But the thing is that they look at me and they say, "She's a woman. You know, what does she know about lifting weights? What does she know about, like, you know, the exercising part of it? What does she know about the business part of it? You know." So the thing is, for me, I struggled with, you know, with that was the basic thing. So I had to prove myself a little harder. I had to prove myself a little, you know, a little more. I had to throw in big words. Okay, honestly, I had to give them, you know, big words in the sense, like, you know, not your basic English, but I had to put in scientific words so that they're like turn around and say, "Oh, you know, she must be knowing something," you know, like that. So when I stumped them with my knowledge, with my, you know, with my education, with my background, with my training, then they take me seriously. But for a man, you know, he's just working out, you know, doing his with his dumbbells, and they say, "Oh, let me see your muscles, and how did you do this exercise?" You know, I'm built small, so I need to prove myself more. So men, yeah, for men, I think for me, I face that. I struggle. I still struggle to be taken seriously. Yeah.
Tanushree?
Yes, I think in a way, maybe, you know, initially when I started off, I think maybe I also had that reservation maybe that people are not taking me seriously. But I think end of the day, as long as you're prepared, you know your business, you know what you're selling. I think it's people get convinced, you know, and also it's okay to be vulnerable sometimes. You know, you don't really have to show that, you know, I know it all. So it's okay to, you know, sometimes get into a conversation or a communication with your client, be like, what is it that you really want? Let me see if I can manage that from my business, you know. So I think it's about, you know, having the right communication, having the right presentation, having the right information, and having the, you know, knowing what you're selling end of the day to the client.
This is to all of you. Many young girls are discouraged to take up a field of study because it doesn't suit women. However, when it comes to business, women tend to take up certain sectors because it helps them balance their home and business. Do women need more icons like you to think out of the box? Tanushree, would you like to take that?
Sure. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, many young girls are discouraged to take up a field of study because it doesn't suit women. However, when it comes to business, women tend to take up certain sectors because it helps them balance their home and business. Do women need more icons like you to think out of the box?
Of course, you know, role models do help, because I think, but it is still a process what is happening, you know. So earlier, maybe, you know, people were just, confined to the idea that women are meant to be homemakers. So now it's a slow transition which is happening. So more and more women are doing part-time roles, you know, something which is manageable, managing their home, their family, their kids, and also pursuing their passion in a smaller way. So that's another one. But then there are a lot more women. There are, you know, the numbers might be still small. The industries might be still male dominated, but there are still more and more women coming out who are becoming full-time entrepreneurs, you know. So I think it is just a matter of transition, how a society progresses, you know, and how the, you know, thinking over time changes. So I think, yes, role models will definitely help, because then we're like, okay, if she can do it, why not me?
And I think we are transitioning quite well. You know, we have now we have many, the husbands ready to take over the home front and let their, wives take center stage. So I think the transition is happening. Let's get more role models and change those narratives and move towards a more equal world. Any more questions? Let me just quickly check. I think we don't have any more questions. So let's, I think we can close the show. But before we close the show, we would like to request you guys to share your experiences with us from the show. We would like you to open up a link that we would be sharing on the chat box. It's a Padlet. So please share your views on it. In the chat box, you will see a link. Open the link and you will see a plus button at bottom right. Tap the button and share your views. You can write your name as a title and share your views below that. The question we are asking you today is, if you had to take up an enterprise that is typically male, which one would it be? How would you navigate through that business as a woman? Let me repeat that again. If you had to take up an enterprise that is typically male, which one would it be? How would you navigate through that business as a woman? I hope you guys have got the link on your chat box. Okay, we have an answer, but I don't know who that is. The answer is real estate. Manufacturing is one. Construction is the other. But I think sports. Yeah, so we already have Cheryl on sports and fitness leading the way. Manufacturing, machines and equipments.
Hi, we've heard
my gender does not matter, whichever field I choose. So glad to hear that.
Right, we have already discussed the sectors, but the real question is, how would you navigate that business as a woman? So if the one who's writing real estate, it'd be interesting to see what is it about real estate and how would you tackle real estate as a woman? Yeah. Similarly for manufacturing.
Anushila has written, I would like to be a tourist guide, would like to take tourists to interior of national parks and be a naturalist guide. How wonderful, Anushila. We wish you all the very best. So yeah, please write your name and the industry and how you would navigate through that business as a woman. There is someone who's written sports. I've played sports all my life, so I've trained myself for it. So would like to initiate an institute for young girls keen to play cricket, badminton, and swimming. It would be nice if we could have your name as well. That's so wonderful, and we wish you all the very best. We'd like to work on producing food products that are Northeast based. It would be nice if we can have your name, please. Yeah, sports was Sayesta. Sayesta, we wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing your institute soon. Grooming all our wonderful, I think, this is very well suited for Northeast. I think we're very good in sports. So yeah, you should go ahead and do that. Tanushree says to go for it. Yes, go for it. We are all rooting for you. Is that from 23 participants, we have only this many answers? We look forward to more answers. You have such inspirational women entrepreneurs here. Why didn't you take inspiration? We would love to hear from a panelist on what did they like about the show and how can we make it better. If you could leave a little feedback, all the panelists, that will be lovely. I think that's all the answers that's coming in. Okay, I think that's all the answers that we have. Can I now request Ovi, who is our project manager, to come and say a few words and thank our beautiful guests here, our inspiring panelists, for taking out their valuable time to be with us. Ovi?
Yeah. Wow. Thank you, Vimla. In the words of Arlen Hamilton, we don't just sit around and wait for other people, we just make and we do. And it's thrilling to hear our panelists today on how each of you are setting the trend, breaking the, breaking the belief systems, changing the mindsets and leading it. It is really inspiring and it gets better even every time we hear it. Thank you so much, Ms. Vimla Rajkumari, for moderating the sessions and for catalyzing this discussion and your insights into it, which has made it even more enriching. Thank you, Rituparna, your story back for the support behind all this, for bringing us together, for curating it. Thank you so much to all to GIZ and her and now Dhriiti for giving us this platform, and to all the entrepreneurs and supporters who have joined us today. We will be coming back with more sessions from her tribe, and we cannot wait to hear your stories. Till then, till the next sessions, have a good time. I hope you all enjoyed today's session. Right?
As we close today's session, I'd like to extend a very warm thank you to Cheryl, to Runa, to Tanushree, to Maggie, and Grace. Thank you for making this session so enriching. Thank you so much for having you all here today. Thank you to our wonderful participants for taking out the time. I hope it was a useful 1 hour 40 minutes for you. I hope you've gone back a little more inspired, a little more, a little more zest to go and follow your dreams with such inspiring stories from our panelists. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.